Have you ever heard of a country so unusual that you can't even go jogging with friends unless the government says you can? Where cows don't end up on dinner plates, but instead receive names, blessings, and even wedding invitations? Where a dish as humble as beans and cornmeal turns into a feast, exploding with music, royal drums, and a rhythm so powerful the ground itself seems to tremble? This is Burundi, a nation where traditions thousands of years old live side by side with a youth culture buzzing with energy, pride, and defiance. And here's the kicker. You could experience all of this and live here for under $700 a month. These are 15 bizarre, beautiful, and jaw-dropping facts about one of Africa's most mysterious gems. Welcome to Burundi as you've never imagined it before. Fact number 15, Burundi, the youngest nation on Earth. Burundi is one of the smallest countries in Africa, just 10,700 square miles, even tinier than the U.S. state of Massachusetts. But what it lacks in size, it makes up for in soul. Landlocked by Rwanda, Tanzania, and the Democratic Republic of Congo, Burundi is like an island of culture surrounded by modern chaos. This natural isolation has helped preserve its ancient customs, languages, and rhythms in ways few places on Earth still can. Despite being just a few degrees from the equator, Burundi enjoys a surprisingly mild climate, thanks to its lush highlands and elevated terrain. Think tropical sunshine with a cool breeze all year round. A country close to the sun, but never sunburned. The full name is the Republic of Burundi, but to its people, Burundi means the land where Hutu and Tutsi have lived together since ancient times. Its red, white, and green flag bears 3 stars, symbolizing the Hutu, Tutsi, and Twa, 3 ethnic groups who've shared the land for generations. Fact number 14, bananas are Burundi's gold. In Burundi, bananas aren't just fruit. They're currency, culture, and community. Nearly every household grows them. They're steamed, mashed, fried, and most importantly, fermented into urwa, a local banana wine deeply woven into the fabric of Burundian life. At weddings, births, and peace ceremonies, urwa flows like tradition itself. It's poured into a single clay jar, and everyone drinks from it, each person with their own long bamboo straw passed down through generations. Refusing a sip? That's considered rude. Walk through the markets of Gitega or Bujumbura, and you'll see golden mountains of bananas piled high on wooden carts, wheelbarrows, or neatly arranged on burlap like sacred offerings. Even transporting bananas is an art form. On steep highland roads, locals race down on gravity-powered wooden bikes, no pedals, just momentum, carrying hundreds of pounds of bananas like it's second nature. Elsewhere, banana leaves become stretchers. Banana stems? Carried through the forest like royal treasure. Fact number 13, the women who carry a nation on their heads. In Burundi, the quiet strength of the nation moves atop the heads of its women. Across red dirt paths and terraced hillsides, it's a daily sight. Women walking with firewood, water jugs, or banana stalks stacked impossibly high, hands free. No straps, no support, just posture, rhythm, and ancestral skill. But these women aren't just carrying burdens. They're carrying communities. In a country where economic hardship runs deep, Burundian women are the backbone of survival. They work the fields, raise the children, manage the homes, fetch the water, and sell the produce, all while weaving joy and resilience into every step. At the markets, they're more than vendors. They are economists, peacekeepers, negotiators, and living libraries of oral history. In rural areas, they settle disputes, teach traditions, and lead the social heartbeat of the village. And when they dance, especially during drumming ceremonies, there's elegance but also power. Their vibrant fabrics and beaded jewelry don't just shine, they speak of identity, endurance, and pride. Drop a number 8 in the comments if you'd love to witness it in person. Fact number 12. the most unique DIY scooter in the world. Welcome to Burundi, where necessity meets brilliance on two wooden wheels. Introducing the Chikudu, a hand-built, gravity-defying wooden scooter that's part wheelbarrow, part scooter, and part engineering marvel. Crafted almost entirely from wood with recycled rubber tires from old cars, the Chikudu isn't just transportation, it's a lifeline. This rugged ride can carry up to 500 pounds of cargo, bananas, sacks of charcoal, firewood, even crates of beer, down the steepest of hills. No motor, no pedals, just balance, foot brakes, and raw skill. Young men steer these wooden beasts with their bodies, zipping down hills in towns like Ngozi and Kayanza, where paved roads are few but hustle is everywhere. Getting uphill? That's simple. They push it step by step like a wooden ox. Originally invented in the Democratic Republic of Congo, the Chikudu has become a symbol of entrepreneurial spirit in Burundi. Some riders make a week's income in a single day by delivering goods to local markets. Fact number 11. The forest people who dance on stilts. In the misty highlands near Kibera National Park lives one of Burundi's oldest and most resilient communities, the Batwa people. Often called the forest people, the Batwa have lived in harmony with nature for thousands of years. They were once semi-nomadic, skilled trackers, herbalists, and especially known for their pottery, made entirely by hand without the use of a wheel. Today, many Batwa families live near towns like Bukinanyana and Musigati, continuing to pass down their ancestral wisdom through oral storytelling, music, and dance. And among their most stunning cultural expressions? The stilt dance. It's a breathtaking sight, men and women rising high above the crowd on hand-carved stilts, swaying and spinning to the rhythm of pounding hand drums. It's not just a performance, it's a ceremony of pride and presence, a vibrant declaration that the Batwa are still here. Visitors are often welcomed with open arms, invited to share food, witness dances, and listen to stories passed down for generations. In a world racing toward modernization, the Batwa stand as a reminder that cultural memory, connection to nature, and human dignity are worth holding high, sometimes even on stilts. Fact number 10. The drums of kings. In Burundi, the beat of a drum doesn't just echo, it commands. Welcome to the world of Inanga, towering wooden drums that once roared only for kings. The Burundian drum dance is one of Africa's oldest and most powerful performance traditions. But it's more than entertainment. It's a sacred ritual, a heartbeat of history, and a symbol of national identity. These drums were once played during royal coronations, military victories, and spiritual rites. Today, you'll hear them in cultural festivals across Bujumbura and in quiet hillside villages where children still learn the rhythms from elders, by ear, not sheet music. And then, the moment of awe. The lead drummer climbs atop his own drum, standing tall, striking downward with two heavy sticks, like a royal conductor summoning the spirit of the ancestors. In 2014, UNESCO declared this tradition an intangible cultural heritage of humanity. In Burundi, the drum is not just an instrument. It's a throne, a voice, a pulse, and a living link to royalty. Fact number 9. All you need is one cow to get married. In Burundi, the path to marriage doesn't run through banks or dowries, it runs through the horns of a cow. Across rural Burundi, your wealth isn't measured in currency, it's counted in cattle. And the most prized of all? The majestic Ankole Watusi, with its towering crown-like horns that can grow over 3 feet long. These regal animals once belonged only to kings. Today, they're still revered like royalty. In Burundian tradition, giving a cow as a wedding gift is a gesture of deep respect and honor. It's often named after the bride's new home or a virtue the groom hopes to celebrate. And here's the beautiful part. Once given, that cow is never slaughtered. It's raised like family, remembered, even spoken to. Cows live close, sometimes tied beside the house or guided out daily like companions. Their dung is used to fertilize crops or build traditional homes. Their image appears in art, in carved drums, even in spiritual songs. Fact number 8. The curious case of salt in Burundi. How do you harvest salt in a landlocked country with no ocean? In Burundi, the answer lies not in the sea, but in the soil itself. In regions like Rusi and the Mauro Highlands, locals practice an ancient and delicate craft, extracting salt from naturally salty earth and hot springs. No factories, no machinery. Just age-old knowledge, passed from generation to generation. The process is a ritual of patience. Salty soil is soaked, filtered, then slowly boiled down in clay pots until glistening salt crystals form, like treasure rising from the land. But in Burundi, salt isn't just for flavor, it's woven into culture. Every May, some rural communities celebrate what's called a salt wedding. It's a traditional engagement ceremony where banana wine and salt cakes are given as dowry gifts. And here's the fascinating twist. If the bride tastes just a pinch of salt during the event, it's her silent and graceful way of saying yes. In Burundi, salt does far more than season food. It flavors identity, tradition, and love. Fact number 7. Important notes when visiting Burundi. Traveling through Burundi offers more than just beautiful landscapes. It offers deep, unscripted human connection. But here's something you'll quickly notice. In Burundi, asking isn't begging. It's a culturally rooted gesture, an instinctive form of interaction shaped by decades of economic hardship and shared resilience. At local markets, children may come up to you asking for candy. At roadside stops near Lake Tanganyika, a stranger might offer directions or even walk with you unprompted, just to help. And what's truly surprising? Street kids in cities like Bujumbura often speak 3 or 4 languages: French, Swahili, Kirundi, and sometimes English or German. Many visitors say they've happily shared snacks or coins, not out of guilt, but out of sheer admiration for a child who just greeted them in perfect multilingual charm. Still, a few tips go a long way. Carry small change, and learn to say "Oya," "Merci," "No thank you" in Kirundi and French with a smile. It's polite, firm, and usually enough. While Burundi's political situation has improved, be cautious. Avoid taking photos near military or government buildings and steer clear of sensitive topics like politics or protests, especially in border areas where people may be more wary of outsiders with cameras or notebooks. Fact number 6. The strange jogging rule found only in Burundi. In most countries, jogging in a group is a normal, even wholesome way to start the day. But in Burundi, this simple act, running with friends, requires government permission. Why? The answer lies in a moment of national trauma. After the political unrest of 2015, when massive protests erupted in the capital and spiraled into violence, the government began viewing all group activities with suspicion, even casual ones. Group jogging, once a popular weekend ritual for teens and athletes, was suddenly seen as a possible front for organizing dissent. So new rules were introduced. No jogging in groups unless pre-approved by local authorities. To outsiders, it might sound extreme. But in Burundi, where the memory of unrest still lingers, public gatherings, even informal ones, are closely watched. While these laws have relaxed in recent years, they've never been officially repealed. Today, you'll still see solo joggers along the shores of Lake Tanganyika, gliding past the morning mist with earbuds in and heads down, running freely but cautiously. Fact number 5. The country with 2 capitals. Burundi isn't just rich in culture. It's a country with 2 capitals that feel like 2 different worlds. There's Bujumbura, the largest city and former capital, a vibrant urban sprawl resting along the shores of Lake Tanganyika. And then there's Gitega, the quieter, more ceremonial administrative capital tucked deeper inland. In Bujumbura, mornings begin with the hum of minibus engines, the scent of roasted coffee wafting from street stalls, and vendors shouting over the buzz at Central Market. Lakeside, locals pedal past stalls selling cassava cakes, grilled tilapia, and bottles of homemade banana beer. By afternoon, young people gather in Ruzizi National Park, where, believe it or not, you can sometimes spot hippos and crocodiles in the distance. But to locals, that's just another day at the park. Gitega, on the other hand, moves to a slower, more ceremonial rhythm. It's home to the National Museum, where royal drums, spears, and regal garments from Burundi's ancient kingdoms are carefully preserved. It feels more like the heart of tradition, where history isn't just studied, it's felt. In Burundi, every city is a story, and in the case of Bujumbura and Gitega, those stories are two chapters of the same soul. Fact number 4, the land of unnamed wonders. Burundi may be small, but it's filled with natural wonders so majestic, most of them don't even have tour names yet. Stretching along the country's western edge is Lake Tanganyika, a deep blue giant that holds several global records. It's believed to be the oldest and deepest freshwater lake in the world, plunging more than 4,800 feet into the earth and sitting over 2,500 feet above sea level. Imagine Lake Tahoe, but warmer, wilder, and fringed with palm trees and monkeys swinging from the canopy above. But here's what truly stuns visitors. The source of the Nile River isn't in Egypt or Uganda. It actually begins in Burundi. At Mount Gikizi, a modest ravine marks the start of the mighty river. There's even a faded sign reading Source du Nil, where the quiet Ruvieranza stream begins its astonishing 4,100-mile journey north. Keep exploring and you'll find Carrera Falls, a shimmering series of waterfalls hidden in the forest, often called one of Africa's most beautiful, least-known gems. Fact number 3, the Secret State Festival. In Burundi, tradition isn't just remembered, it's lived, danced, and sung every season. Between February and March, before a single bean touches the soil, entire villages gather for the Umuganoro rain ceremony, a mystical dance of hope and harmony. It begins beneath the ancestral tree, where elders and villagers form a giant circle. Dancers in banana leaf skirts twirl to the rhythm of hand drums, cooled by the highland breeze. Leading the ritual is always someone over the age of 70, a living bridge between past and present. Legend says, after 3 full spins, clouds begin to gather, and the first rains of the season begin to fall. From July to August, that rain becomes harvest. And Umuganoro transforms into a full-blown celebration of abundance. Village squares turn into outdoor kitchens. Fresh rice steams in clay pots, while the smell of roasted corn fills the air. Drums thunder at 100 beats per second, vibrating through your chest like an open-air rock concert. And in a beautiful display of unity, everyone, from farmers to mayors, scoops the first spoon of rice together, reaffirming that in Burundi, community comes before everything. Fact number 2. Cost of living in Burundi, a budget-friendly secret for American travelers. If you've ever dreamed of downsizing your life without sacrificing comfort, Burundi might just be your best-kept secret. The cost of living here is 60 to 70% lower than in the United States and about 40% less than in most European countries. In Gitega or Bujumbura, you can rent a fully furnished one-bedroom apartment for as little as $180 to $300 per month, depending on the location and amenities. Utilities, electricity, water, trash pickup, and even fiber optic internet can total just $40 to $60 a month. A local meal at a street-side eatery, just $2 to $4. Prefer something Western style? You're still looking at only $8 to $12. If you cook at home, $25 a week will cover plenty of fresh fish, green bananas, beans, and seasonal vegetables. Getting around? Hop on a moto taxi for just 50 cents per ride, or hire a private car with a driver for $20, $30 a day. Even a gym membership in the city center runs only $25 to $35 per month, and a basic dental checkup might cost just $15 to $25. If you could live here, would you? Drop a 1 in the comments for yes and a 0 for no, and tell us why. Fact number 1. Must-try dishes in Burundi, a taste of the unexpected. Let's end our journey with the flavors that fuel the soul of Burundi. First up, muke, a local fish found only in Lake Tanganyika, often called the salmon of East Africa. Firm, slightly fatty, and rich in flavor, it's usually grilled whole over charcoal and served with boiled green bananas and a sprinkle of local pink salt. If grilled salmon with greens is your go-to in the US, this is Burundi's power combo. Next, try ibiharage na ubugali, soft black beans simmered in palm oil and served with ubugali, a cornmeal dough ball. You eat it with your hands, dipping the soft dough into the rich, flavorful stew. Think mashed potatoes and gravy, if mashed potatoes were hand-scooped and stewed with soul. For something more festive, there's isombe, a celebratory dish made of mashed cassava leaves simmered in coconut milk with garlic and onions. It's both earthy and tropical, a surprising delight for the palate.